Done. Good. Sorry, computer science guy. So like I told you yesterday, the three important criteria, criteria 1, criteria 2, criteria 3, they are very crucial for NBA accreditation, where you can really save and earn mark. If you don't work on that, you'll be losing substantial mark, and that will affect your accreditations, overall accreditation. In this context, program outcomes and course outcome will be discussing separately. After that, I'll go to the criteria. So the program outcome next, मैं चलाता हूँ उनको. Yeah, now it is. You did it or I did it? Okay, doesn't display. Okay. So the program, once you say it is program outcome, that means measurable. So once it is measurable means there must be tools for measurement, processes for measurements. There must be evidence to show that you have tools and processes. So these three things keep in your mind. Once it is measurable means attainment to be evaluated. To evaluate the attainment, you need tools, you need processes, and to show to the expert that you have used the tools and the processes, evidences have to be created. So that's the way you have to understand outcomes and objective difference. Then when you go to the program outcomes, in Washington Accord we say it is graduate attributes, whereas in NBA we say it is program outcomes. In fact, when we prepare these attributes or so-called the program outcomes, we have to map almost all with the signatories countries. Like when we were preparing for the polytechnic system, Sydney, Dublin and Washington and Dudley, that is UK one. All these four we saw, and accordingly we try to fit ourselves so that tomorrow once the polytechnic students they are going, the UK people should not drive them out, or the Germany's people should not drive them out, or Australian they should not drive them out. That's the way we made almost all a balanced type of attributes. But here, since the signatories, we are part of the Washington Accord signatories, so all our 12 POs are derived from what these Washington Accord attributes are. So therefore, if you see, we have to keep it in line where it doesn't only speak about the knowledge, it talk about the skill and also the life activities and attitude which these people will be developing. How his personality will be reflected, what ethical value he will be entering, inculcating during your course, what professional approach he will be adopting once they go out to this society. It's also part of these POs. So 12 POs are defined in such a way that the attributes are in such a way that you get a holistic approach to the person who is going through your course. So it is not only you are delivering the knowledge, you also asking him to how to stand in front of the team, how to speak in front of the team, how to make an eye contact with you. There are many students, they will be having lot of knowledge but don't have the confidence level. When they talk, they will talk like this. How to make them that you know the things, be confident, have an eye contact while talking, all those things. And when you are very straight, you don't have anything inside, you are not manipulating any inside, then you will see that you will have a eye contact. वो बोलते हैं ना, मन में अगर चोर है तो छुप छुप के आप आंख नीचे करके करोगे वो. So these type of things, like they should be taught that nothing manipulative approach should be there inside. You should be straight. If nothing is known to you, straight to say that I don't know, rather than trying to manipulate the situation. So many such things are part of this. So therefore these 12 POs are ultimately the requirement, the course which will be delivering. The course should drive these POs, and once the 12 POs are driven, then your program educational objective is achieved. So if bottom to top model we see, then the bottom is your course. The curriculum will drive the course. Course attainment will drive the POs. POs attainment will drive the program education objective for which the program has been devised. This is now you want a BTech in IoT. The purpose is that you want to see your undergraduate engineers, once they go out of this, they should be in a position to work efficiently with knowledge and skill in a IoT environments. Whether it is the Internet of Water things, Internet of Minds things, Internet of cyber things, any, because now IoT, you once a specific application you are bringing, then you know that water thing, land thing, all those things comes into that. So if you are, let's say, land survey data on which you are trying to get this IoT environment, taking lot of sensors, getting the sensor networks, trying to get the data, using analytics on that, synthesis you are doing, and giving a land survey report for the where to create a shortest bridge, where to go for a shortest route or path, all those things, again it is called Internet of Road things, or transport, road transport things, any name you give. So when you are trying a person to be that, then your curriculum will be designed that way. That curriculum should give a course attainment. Course attainment should lead to the program outcomes. This 12 program outcomes should be satisfied. Then ultimately it should have the objective for which you have created that engineer. That program educational objective must be aligned with the IoT engineers for that particular application. So that's the way, top to bottom. And reverse wise, you have to again bidirectional analysis you have to do, so that your correlations are proper. You establish a good both way process, that they are linked both way properly. So there is a strong coupling. In our microwave we talk about coupling. So there is a coupling, proper coupling, so there is no leakage, and you are in a position to give the most efficient, and efficacy is your better. So it is efficient, also the efficacy, both the things are measured, let me tell you. So next is PSO. This is program outcomes, this is program specific. So that means your 12 POs, if they are not meeting, for example, the 12 POs are generic in nature, but you want, I have some example for you today. So if you want your electrical engineering to be more motor driven situation, you want the electrical engineer who is coming out from your institute is able to, let's say, handle the high voltage situation. Nowadays, if you see, I don't think you have a high voltage lab. Do you have a high voltage lab? So your engineers cannot go in front of this 11 kV lines or 33 kV lines. They will be scared. So now, if you want your engineer to deal with the grid situation, deal with the 11 kV or 33 kV lines, then you have to give a specialized efforts in your curriculum. So therefore, you have to bring these PSOs extra, that is program specific. This is, I say, specialization for the program. I use the word so that it is easily understandable. Like you have a BTech in electrical engineering, but in your mind, looking into your expertise available, let's say everybody has come from IITs and Jadavpur universities, NITs, they have gone through the high voltage lab, so a lot of high voltage experts are there. You want your student also to get exposed, you know that is a weak point of many of the engineering college, especially private engineering college, because it needs lot of investment. So then if you are planning that way, then your PSO will come into picture. 1, 2, 3 extra PSOs you have to bring in. So that is a supplement, complementary to the 12 POs. So in this case, if you are putting 2 PSOs, then basically your POs are 14, 12 plus 2. So PSO 1 can be PO 13, PSO 2 can be called as PO 14. So that's the way. So we'll also discuss in that. Then already this part I have told you, once it comes to the measurement or attainment, tools and processes are very important, and it will have direct, indirect approach. So how nicely you are listing the direct, how nicely you are listing the indirect, how methodically you are using those direct, indirect, simply listing करने से नहीं होगा. The evidence is that you have used those tools processes. File should speak कि मैं यहाँ ये test किया हूँ. Let's say you have given them, you have created a literary clock. Department of Computer Science has created a literary clock. In that literary clock, they have created blogs. They are going for short stories, even animated stories. So many things they are doing it. So this is a curriculum which is not part of the structured curriculum of computer science, but this is definitely has a holistic development for them, that creativity is increasing, writing capability is increasing, and blogs use their efficient. So therefore, whether you are assessing them or giving some marks in that. So their evidence is that these are the activities they have done. Each activity has been given 0.5 marks or 0.2 marks. The student got this mark. Accumulation of that is, this is the mark which is added in the whole assignment or the score of the student, and therefore the attainment is this much. 87% from the end semester examination he got this. From this he got this. All together in assignment, quiz, this, that added together. This is the total. So basically you will have a percentage, like how direct percentage is 80%, indirect percentage is 20%. So you have to calculate the weights of that and add it. That becomes the total attainment which you'll be doing. We'll see that attainment stage. That is the more important thing you have to understand. So therefore, this listing of direct, indirect tools and processes is not enough. You have to really perform that, and there must be record in your course file, in your department, use as a subject expert of that particular, let's say, control engineering if you are teaching, as a subject expert of the control engineering, your file should speak that this is what I have taught, these are the assignment I have given, these are the things, examination I have conducted, these are the additional resources where I have checked them, these are the indirect tools which I have taken from them. So like yesterday I was talking about, final year student can be given laboratory experiment. Final year student, if you are giving them the second year lab to be conducted 2-3 experiments, then the final year student, as part of the assignment when he is conducting, if you are evaluating the second year students and he is getting good mark, that is indirectly the teacher is good. So you are giving him a better assignment marks. So that's the way you can also go for some indirect assessment. You are not directly assessing. It is through a pure assessment which you are doing it. So there are many such things which can be created. How innovatively, how creatively you are delivering and observing the continuous improvement of the student, that is a challenge of the teacher. And if the teacher is good, he will create such many things, and that will be appreciated by the expert team, and he will get a better marks for that. Exactly, that is the way. Means how it is not necessary that what he is following the same will be followed by him, or whatever cutoff he has fixed, he will put that cutoff. It is not possible. A subject like in electronics, if you see a digital electronics, if you are telling that anybody who scores 70 and above is A grade, and if same cutoff you put for electromagnetic theory, all will fail. These subjects are like that. So is the case in your control engineering and any of the sub-subjects when you are talking. So therefore, they are the, how the median or the standard deviation which we are fixing. So based on this, so difficult subject, how you are handling, tools will be different ways are there. So therefore, you have to discuss this with the people who are teaching this subject. Let's say 3-4 faculty are always teaching this subject. They should start working on that. What should be the different direct tools? What are the different indirect tools? Mainly issues are indirect tools. What are the different indirect tools? What are the wattage to be given? Sometimes it's so that you realize that this particular subject is more practical driven, but curriculum says that only 1 credit. Why can't you put more practical oriented assignment even in your theory class? After teaching, you can give them the practical oriented, do this project, minor project, this major project. You link to your assignment. In Tier 2 institute, let me tell you, when the team they go, they are not bothered about the curriculum because they know that you don't have a control over that. It is the university who will dump it on your head. But they will see how meticulously you have done research to find the gaps of the curriculum, because as a teacher you are visualizing that this is market demand. My curriculum is not meeting the market demand. So this is the gap between the market demand and the curriculum. So my students should be given that inputs for filling the gap. So when you are trying to fill up that gap, what are the additional activities or curriculum related system which you are bringing, and how you are delivering that? Simply bringing will not help, how you are delivering that. All those things should come as evidence, then only your the criteria 2, criteria 3 marks will be driven upward. Always it is a complaint of tier 2 institutes or university doesn't permit to put IoT there, doesn't permit AI subject there. There is a problem. Especially affiliation based university, affiliating university, like in my case, I was very aggressive in 2015 to put this, that. But there are institute who is in the ground level, there are institute who are trying such a digital device situation. You have to create a balance. You cannot create a curriculum only those flying institute will pass. They will this grounded institute will run away from the system. You cannot do that. So you have to compromise. So we have done that. So I realized that it is not possible in this type of heterogeneous system to really go with a very aggressive quality driven curriculum, because your students are not that, because it is a different type of distribution system altogether. This cluster of lower lower average people, upper average people, they are distributed in a different way. So therefore, the tier 2 institutes should bring these gaps to the notice of the university. That is a process. So once the gaps are identified, you must communicate officially, you must communicate department, you may not be part of the board of studies of electrical engineering of Macau University, they will force on you. But as department, once you get a curriculum, have a internal BOS for your whole department, find out the gaps, ask the dean to communicate officially with the approval of the director, okay, these are the curriculum slabs. So universities should take care in future in their BOS meeting, or the syndicate meeting, or the senate meeting, or the academic council meeting, whatever name they are giving. So once these continuous letters you are doing, means there is an efforts from your side to give the information to the final authority by change karo, country has changed, the industry has changed, you people also change with time. So that is efforts first we see in the file. After that, till they have not changed, what extra method which you have used to take care of your students? ठीक है, वो university सुना नहीं है आपका बात, but at least you have taken care of your students. Those are the things to be said. Yeah, please. ये एक माइक दे दो वहाँ सर्कुलेट करने.
Hello. Sir, good morning. Two things. Firstly, if it is not within the curriculum, there will be a strong urge from the student not to take it. They want to escape it because they don't need it.
And you are a failure teacher.
Sir?
Then the teacher is failure.
Okay.
Because, let me tell you, student, they know that whatever curriculum is given to them, that is the final examination question will come on that. But they don't know, when the Wipro or the Infosys will hire, they will ask for the Angular Java. It is only the Java which has been in your curriculum, but when you go for a real industry, they say without Angular Java will not hire you. This you know. So now as a teacher, it is my responsibility how to counsel, monitor, mentor, so that they are convinced. If not, then as a teacher, I put Angular Java as an assignment. So that becomes integral part of the curriculum. I have taught you Java, now apply Java concept and give me a small code you define and give that, so automatically they will learn. जो बोलते हैं ना सीधा अंगुली में घी नहीं निकलेगा तो टेढ़ा करना पड़ेगा. So सीधा अंगुली में करते हैं तो you are a good mentor, you are a good counselor. So student accept you as a good teacher, whatever you speak they accept you. If not, then there is a force method. This is the assignment or quizzes, put that so they will read. Let me tell you, आप लोग कुछ तो IIT डिग्री लेके आए होंगे. So even US UK सिस्टम सर्वे UK में रहे हैं, मैं US में रहा हूँ. ये जो ओपन बुक वाला सिस्टम होता है ना, सबसे खतरनाक होता है, फेल रेट उसमें ज्यादा होता है. So, and if you see, open books doesn't give a open answer to us. So, the lot of search. So, if you say your teacher that time कि सर ये तो syllabus में नहीं था, then you are gone. So, here we do you follow sir open book system? Yeah, you don't have it. So, then this is an indirect way of creating an open book for them. But best is that if you can really mobilize them, give them the right feature. I'll give you this generation people. They don't want to go with the traditional way, the way we visualize. They value for that time, and they are, I'll not, this is a wrong word to be used, but I will use it. They are too materialistic in their mind. They are too materialistic. कि मैं इस समय के अंदर में कितना एक्स्ट्रा लेके गूगल में पहुंच सकता हूं, एप्पल में पहुंच सकता हूं. मेरे को इन्फोसिस 4 लाख में नहीं जाना है, मेरे को 40 लाख वाला गूगल को देखना है. अगर मेरा टीचर और गूगल वाला इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं देता है, उसका यूनिवर्सिटी का जितना क्लास अटेंड करना है करके मैं अपना, ये आपका क्लास में भी वो बैठ के, जब 200 स्टूडेंट में यू कैन नॉट कैच एवरीबॉडी, वो क्लास में बैठ के भी वो प्रिपेयर करता होगा. सो दे हैव लॉट ऑफ दिस एक्सपोजर नाउ. So if we cannot map with them, then we are outdated. And once you become outdated, your counseling will not work, your mentoring will not work, whatever you want to. Another thing also I'll tell, that in this type of situation, don't try to teach everything. Try to teach them what is directly relevant to the market things, so that the foundation is definitely required. Once the foundation is required, deliver to them, go for those market driven things which are required. Rest of the things that becomes a part of their assignment, they know how to read for them. This is very crucially, you have to plan, your teaching plan should be now more intelligently devised. You cannot follow the traditional approaches.
So, second part is, if it is not within the curriculum, it becomes very difficult to justify the budget requirement. For example, if I want to establish a lab, so it becomes very difficult to justify.
Give me one example.
For example, in computer science, then if we want to establish a AI lab or machine learning lab
Okay.
right now, if it is not within the diploma curriculum, so allocating a room and
Database
resources.
is in your curriculum? Sir, एक minute. नहीं, sir, नहीं, let me put this question. DBMS is a part of the diploma curriculum. SQL, नहीं, आओ भाई, SQL is also part of this thing. Now I want to have a cloud-based database. That becomes linked. To have a cloud-based database, I need a AI-driven machine, ML approach to that. So that can be as an expert. If you simply ask के database management के लिए मुझे ये server चाहिए, which is costing 5 lakhs rupees, definitely as a director or vice chancellor, I will raise a question. But if you are coming with a justification that database for this application, since this diploma student will be handling a machine in industry 4.0, where all the machines are in the cloud, database is also in cloud, they have to go with a smart machine, so we must give them the exposure. So in this process, nobody will oppose that. So only things that how innovatively you are putting your claim, and once you bring that, that is also helping you to do research. Let me tell you, any authority, why they oppose it? Because there is always a audit justification for that. If you buy high-end equipments, let me tell you, buying is not difficult. Subsequently, जो audit पारा को justify करना है कि इसका utility दिखाओ. Your friend will go meet the audit team when they come. सर ये तो खरीदा है ये लोगों, ये कमीशन लिया है इतना पैसा है, सर इसका utility पूछ लो.
Yeah, that's true, sir.
This is what you are telling. We have not reached to this stage. We have also gone this type of opposition from the higher authority, HODs, but we have always convinced them to reach. And I don't know the present situation of Nerist, sir might be knowing, but the time when we are serving as young faculty like you, we could convince all our director and HOD against all odds. Our laboratories were even comparable to IIT systems. And निटर चंडीगढ़ में मैं जो डायरेक्टर जब रहा 5.5 years में, the laboratory come up to that level. IIT रोपर का डायरेक्टर प्रोफेसर आहूजा आते थे, वो बोलते थे पटना क्या मैजिक करता है कि मेरा इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल जितना है तुम्हारा टोटल बजट उतना है, उसमें इतना अच्छा लाभ कैसे बनाए. So this is because we never invested in a digital multimeter. We straight away went to the storage multimeter, so that will take care of the simple requirement of the digital multimeter. That is the way my faculty members, they did a good job. And our Chandigarh law people see not less than any IITs law, any department you people. So this as a faculty, you people have to have a lot of justification in your hand. एक दो बार फाइल इधर उधर होगा, but finally it will be yes. Because once the authority is convinced कि इसमें audit पारा होने से भी उसका आंसर या फाइल का अंदर में है, then he will. Because let's say I am from EC, let's say you are from mechanical engineering. How much knowledge I learned? Though I am holding a chair of director or vice chancellor, how much knowledge, depth knowledge I learned in a mechanical engineering? So I have to rely on your justification, and that justification partially technical, partially English. If my English, because these auditors are clerks, so if that English is acceptable to me, it is acceptable to them. So nobody will object to that, let me tell you. So have a positive mindset. Why I am talking too much with you people, if you see, I see a narish type of approach here, honestly. If you come to Chandigarh, all are my level people. So almost all directors, everybody is a director there, because this is an old institute of 1967. So we have a large number of professors who are well experienced, highly placed. So उनको convince करना difficult है, उनको energize करके फिर drive करना difficult है. But what I see, all of you are young, you have a personal career growth plan. Let have that selfish approach. हम लोग जो आज पहुंचे, हम ऑलवेज अपना प्लान भी बनाते थे कि ये स्कॉलरशिप जाएंगे, कॉमनवेल्थ जाएंगे, बॉयज कार्ड जाएंगे, उसमें ये, लेकिन बॉयज कार्ड जाने के लिए 5 अगर रिसर्च पेपर नहीं बनाऊंगा तो मेरे को बॉयज कार्ड कौन देगा? रिसर्च पेपर कैसे बनाऊंगा? पीएचडी का टाइम में तो लेबोरेटरी में सो जाता था, अभी वो समय नहीं है, तो स्टूडेंट कर रहा हो. तो स्टूडेंट का साथ जब बैठोगे, स्टूडेंट का भी इंप्रूवमेंट हुआ, आपका भी इंप्रूवमेंट हुआ. I'll give you one practical things, then I'll switch over to this. When I started neural network, एक एंटीना इंजीनियर, एक एंटीना पर्सन, न्यूरल नेटवर्क पढ़ाना, न्यूरल नेटवर्क में एक्सपोर्ट लाना, सब कंपनी में एक्सपोर्ट लाना, पूरा अपोजिट डायरेक्शन है, let me tell you. But when I came back from US, I realized that those type of facilities are not available, क्योंकि मैं वहाँ रोबोट उपकरण लेके काम करता था. So how to really go for this? Then I realized कि neural network can be one source where I can do some extrapolation of the hardware limitations. At least I can bring some solution in software. Neural network थोड़ा बहुत मैं जानता था, बीटेक प्रोजेक्ट को दे दिया. बीटेक वाले पढ़ के जब लिटरेचर लेके आते थे, when they used to come with the literature, I used to put 5-10 question extra because my maturity level is high. Then उनका लिटरेचर लेके पढ़ के फिर रेडी हो जाता कि नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन क्या पूछूंगा उनको. So after 2-3 instant, then I 2 BTech project के बाद, if I remember 2 to 3 BTech project, after that I gave it a MTech thesis. Neither the student is knowing nor the teacher is also knowing. 1 year he struggled. He is a Tripura Bengali boy, Pankaj Kandinath. Today he in ISRO, he takes the payload decision. I am really proud of him. अभी गया था मैं ISRO में, वो lot of respect these people are having for people like us, because we have devoted our time. One day he came to my house, मेरा पाँव को पकड़ के ऐसे बैठ गया कि सर मेरे से नहीं हो रहा है, मेरे को थीसिस कंप्लीट करने दो. मैं उस दिन यंग मेंटालिटी ऐसे छिटकाया था उसका हाथ. मैं बोला पंकज, डिग्री शुड नॉट बी बैक्ड, इट शुड बी अर्न. मैं टाइम डिवोट करता था, लेकिन नॉलेज नहीं था, दोनों से सोल्यूशन नहीं हो रहा था. ये नहीं कि मैं घर में बैठ के नहीं करके ला बोल के ये एटीट्यूड वाला प्रोफेसर नहीं हूं मैं. आई ऑल्सो यूज टू सिट विद देम, बट आई वॉज नॉट ऑल्सो हैविंग द नॉलेज. बट आई हैड द होप कि स्ट्रगल करके कहीं ना कहीं तो निकाल देंगे, अगर नहीं होगा तो फिर यस कर दूंगा. Till that extreme time, the pinnacle stage तक तो जाना है. He finished that particular thesis, got immediately, because of thesis he got job in Samir. From Samir he shifted to ISRO. Today he is leading a big different type of project which I cannot disclose because it is a secret project. Only some people are permitted for that. But he is the person who takes payload decision. आपका सैटेलाइट में क्या माइक्रोवेव पेलोड रहेगा, पंकज जब तक डिसीजन नहीं लेता है वो सैटेलाइट ऊपर नहीं जाएगा. So that is the type of things which you people have to do. मुझे लग रहा है कहीं ना कहीं as a teacher when we want to learn the new subject, हमारे पास वो स्ट्रेंथ नहीं रहा कि हम फिर पढ़ेंगे ज्यादा. ये बीटेक स्टूडेंट्स आर द बेस्ट सोर्स एंड यहाँ जो मैं देख रहा हूँ द आउटर एक्टिविटीज आर लेस इफ यू गेट इन्वॉल्व विथ योर स्टूडेंट्स नॉट टू रन अवे आफ्टर 4:30 और 5 o'clock व्हाट इज द टाइम पीरियड हम लोग रहते थे 7 8 9 बजे तक ये कॉमन प्रैक्टिस था चंडीगढ़ में मैं कभी 11 बजे से पहले नहीं आता था ये 24 पीएचडी ऐसे मेरे पास से जो निकले ऐसे नहीं निकले 24 पीएचडी इन इंजीनियरिंग इज नॉट अ स्मॉल जॉब लेट मी टेल यू उसके लिए टाइम देना पड़ता है अभी 25th इज गोइंग ऑन उसके बाद मैं नमस्ते कर दिया कि आप नहीं कर पाऊंगा हो गया बस सो दैट्स
set up their laboratories to cater to the MTech, not to the BTech, so that the research needs are also fulfilled. For example, that computer science has set up a new lab and stuff like that. A big server was being put. It is creating such labs.
So,
Seriously.
NVIDIA you have tried? AI?
So,
Better go for that. I know he is my friend because we have struggled and reached that type of. He developed a fantastic lab, liquid crystal का. When country was not even knowing much about liquid crystal, Nearest was having a liquid crystal lab with his sponsored project. So अगर ये 20 लाख लाते थे, डायरेक्टर से 10 लाख लेके वो करते थे. हम लोग ऐसे सब स्ट्रगल किए. एंटेना लैब वो नॉर्थ ईस्ट में ऐसे लैब नहीं था जो मैं स्पॉन्सर्ड प्रोजेक्ट से किया था. So that's the way if you start NVIDIA, if you are going for AI, then go for NVIDIA CPU. And 2 crores rupees, he will manage fund. I know he has that capability because.
I made several statements that when the committee है, you come out with your ideas. That should be justifiable. जैसे आपने बोला है आपका English should be such.
The clerk should not raise a question so that. One technical तो रहेगा because technically you have to and committee based करना होता है. You people in a
Even after he came out with some suggestion 3-4 years ago, and they have created that system manager and so.
I suggest the faculty member who are young be selfish to make their career through English में word exploitation अच्छा नहीं है लेकिन use that word. Exploit your undergraduate students so that it is a win-win situation for them. They also learn better. You also create a lot of publication to become quick associate professor, quick professors. हम जैसे बंदे सब अगर 49 years में वाइस चांसलर बने हैं, आप सोचते हो I always give credit to my MTech PhD students. 300 publication today. This is my students give to me. Because of that, I have reached to some good position. So therefore, it is time now instead of boasting. और एटलीस्ट व्हाइट हेयर में हम ये बोल सकते हैं हम भी डायरेक्टर के अगेंस्ट में लगते थे क्योंकि जितना इंटेलेक्चुअल हो गया ना वो एटीट्यूड होता है बट वहां से फिर रियलाइज कर दे कि इसमें कुछ मिलने वाला नहीं है ये तो 1 आएगा 2 आएगा 3 आएगा मैं ये पढ़ा रहूंगा सो अगर इस जगह से मुझे निकलना है जैसे नॉर्थ ईस्ट में पहुंचने के बाद व्हेन वी सॉ दैट इट इज नॉट अ प्लेस आफ्टर मैरिज टू कंटिन्यू किड्स के लिए कोई इतना फैसिलिटीज नहीं है मेरा वही इंटेंशन था कि हाउ क्विकली आई शुड लिव टू ए मेन स्ट्रीम रीजन सो दैट वाज माय इनसाइट बट टू गो आउट ऑफ दैट आप बड़ा सा पॉन्ड में घुस गया है दलदल में घुसा है सो दलदल से उठ के आने के लिए आपको चाहिए लाठी चाहिए ना हु आर योर लाठीज योर स्टूडेंट्स आर योर लाठीज So it is time now to be selfish, start working for yourself. That will be overall development for yours and your students. Together it is for institute. Institute will take credit of that. So that's the theory model for your own selfish approach. You do it. Let me tell you. Academically you will be a better person, a known person. And ये जो छोटा differences this that ना, it will be always there because in family में भी भाई बहन का अंदर में भी differences आता है. But it should not drag to that extent कि it affects the system. जिस घर में आप रहते हो अगर उस घर में डेली झगड़ा होगा आप रहना अच्छा लगेगा कि दूसरा घर आपका पास रेडी नहीं हुआ है you cannot आप पड़ोसी के पास कितना दिन जाके रहोगे तो भगाएगा आपको नेवर तो इसलिए अपना घर में शांति रखने के लिए the best way is that these are all realistic life story. हम भी मैं भी एसोसिएशन का वाइस प्रेसिडेंट रहा हूँ भाई सर को सर भी एग्जीक्यूटिव मेंबर रहे हम लोग सब घाट का पानी पी के इधर पहुंचे जब मैं था वाइस प्रेसिडेंट ही वाज
Not speak here.
तो सर को ठीक है, मैं इसलिए चुप रह गया. सो इसलिए ये अल्टीमेटली वी फाउंड दैट ठीक है, ओपिनियन डिफरेंस हो रहा है स्टेट अभी भी. ये से दैट दिस इज रॉन्ग, यू से कि सर दिस इज रॉन्ग, आई विल नॉट एग्री विथ यू, दिस इज माय ओपिनियन. इफ ही इज अनेबल टू कन्विंस यू द एचओडी, देन यू, आई एम नॉट कन्विंस. बट इफ यू आर राइट, कन्विंस द एचओडी कि सर ये ऐसे ऐसे होता है, ऐसे मत करो, ये गलती है डिपार्टमेंट में. सो दैट इज ए गुड, ऑलवेज देयर, आई विल नॉट से कि नहीं शांति में रहो, वो कभी नहीं होगा. आपका डिफरेंसेस आएगा, इंडिविजुअल्स डिफरेंसेस आएगा, बट इट शुड नॉट अफेक्ट दिस सिस्टम. अगर सिस्टम अफेक्ट करिए ना, देन योर करियर, योर पीस ऑफ माइंड, ऑलवेज यू विल बी थिंकिंग दैट वे. बट अनदर थिंग यू रिमेंबर, मैनेजमेंट इज ऑलवेज इन अपर हैंड, क्योंकि रूल उनका हाथ में है और दे आर इम्प्लीमेंटिंग द रूल्स. सो देयरफॉर नेवर ट्राई, बिकॉज टिल यू गेट दैट रूल इन योर हैंड और पावर इन योर हैंड, डेलीगेशन ऑफ नेवर. बट इट डजंट मीन दैट कि यस सर करो. मेरा नेचर भी नहीं है यस यस हो रहा है. हम भी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड बंदे सब है, मुंह में सीधा बोलते हैं कि नहीं होगा. एंड समटाइम्स इट गोज इन आवर फेवर, समटाइम्स डजंट मैटर. क्या है, एटलीस्ट सेटिस्फेक्शन तो है. Anyhow, the extra बात बहुत हो गया. Let me come back. This is a very important topic because these are the 12 POs. So in these 12 POs, if you see, lifelong learning is there, project management and finance is also there. Today, NEP 2020, when they are talking about teaching economics also, if you want a person to be an entrepreneur, if he doesn't know management, if he doesn't know finance, how to create a budget for the project to be applied, he cannot be a successful person. So therefore, in your engineering time, you might have seen industrial management, economics, humanities department used to teach this type of subject. So it was there, now it is coming in a better structured way. So those curriculum will take care ethics, environmental sustainability, all those things are coming. I will just go for a comparison. 3-4 comparison of Washington Accord and attributes and the NBA POs I have just written. This is not NBA attributes, it is NBA POs, right side. So this is a typographical error, avoid that. You will see that almost all one-to-one map. All the 12 attributes are replicated as NBA POs. So therefore the POs are defined, all the 12 POs are defined. These are elaborately mentioned under that. You have to remember, you have to keep those in mind. Now how to create a PO? What are the process flow? So this is what will help you, this slide will help you to create the process flow file for the evidence. First, conduct meeting with the stakeholder to create the profile of graduate. Basically, with these 12 POs, what you are doing, you are creating a profile of your student. इतना इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग उसको पता होना चाहिए, इतना स्किल कॉम्पिटेंसी उसके पास आना है, ethical होना है, he should be well-behaved person, he should be a team worker, he should know how to manage the team, he should know how to work in a team, should be in a value-based system, so many things. So if you see, basically it is a resume of the student which you are creating. These are its core values, core competency, these are all core values, like that you are dividing them. So when you are creating a profile of the student, then first conduct the meeting with the stakeholders, that how the profile will look like. So basically that will decide which are the POs to be overemphasized, which are the POs to be moderately emphasized, which are the POs to be low emphasized. Because all the 12 POs you cannot emphasize everything. So therefore it has to be a balance. So basically, if you see, the POs are driven by the core curriculum. The core subject जो बोलते हैं ना, in your distribution of the core subject of a curriculum in a university system, core subject is 60%. Then you have open elective, you have then department elective, then you have this project, minor project, major project, like the science, the humanities. Distribution, if you go for this way, around 60% are core subject. So when you are looking for a core subject, so the core subject basically drives the POs. So therefore, first decide how my engineer will be, कैसे मैं उसको किस टाइप का प्रोफाइल, उसका रिज्यूमे किस टाइप का होना चाहिए. So once you decide the profile, then discuss the multiple time you sit with these different stakeholders and come out with the profiling parameters. Which are the parameters for these profiles? Once you get that, then the target must meet the requirement of the stakeholder. Then you will fix the target that this percentage will be engineering component, this will be science component. So already a stakeholder has given an idea कि scientific community होना चाहिए, only technocrats नहीं बनाना है, there should be a flavor for science also. So one example I am just giving that way. So the target must meet the stakeholders requirement, whatever you have kept the benchmark for. Fix these target groups and end users. Who are the people who will be hiring them? So keep them in the mind. What is the target groups which you are keeping? Design the program curriculum to meet the targets or graduate profile. So now design the curriculum which is not in your hand, tier 2 institute. So here is the find out the gaps so that the curriculum requirement is taken care. So university curriculum will meet to certain extent. Whatever is not being met, that you have to find out through the gaps analysis. So here the gap analysis is very important. Keep in mind what student learning outcomes are at each stage. Learning outcomes is COs basically, course outcome. So when you are profiling the student, that every stage what will be the, let's say second semester they are reading. These are the subject. This subject will have a course outcome. Overall, what should be the situation after they come out of the second semester? Are they ready for this work or not? Those things are also to be holistically kept in mind. Plan and implement teaching learning for effective implementation of the curriculum. So again, it is the method of implementation. The methodology which will be following. सिर्फ curriculum बनाने से नहीं होगा, कि gaps find करने से नहीं होगा. Again, you have to implement to take care of that. So it is ATR, action taken. So that action taken report also linked in such a way that the teaching learnings are innovative. All things, मैं quiz ले लेता हूँ, tutorial class कर देता हूँ, that is not the things, answer. Sometimes I take them to the industry, I take them to the field and try to explain this particular unit of this subject. It was more possible for me to explain in front of a field situation. So I took them to a field. Let's say आप 33 kV के 11 kV line पढ़ा रहे हो. If there is a distribution line going on there, take them around and even which is a dielectric, this that it is difficult. In fact, when I used to teach antenna for the radio station, I used to take them to the Itanagar. And वहाँ खड़ा होकर मैं बोलता था कि बताओ एंटेना कौन है, क्योंकि if you see the radio station antenna, सब लगेगा कि जैसे all are antennas. वहाँ से उनको ढूंढना पड़ता था कि डाइपोल कौन सा है, because rest are the supporting system ना, तार को सपोर्ट करके डाइपोल शेप में रखने के लिए सपोर्ट होता था, तो they used to think all are antennas. So but once you show them this is the calculation, this is the way the antennas are to be designed and this is what is the shape of the antenna, they will never forget. But books में जितना भी दिखा दो फील्ड में लेके पहुंचाने से they will fail. So there are certain subjects which needs intervention of the field. So if you are taking them, so therefore this is what is the situation, how innovatively you plan teaching learning depending on the available facilities. And it should must have a alignment with the Washington Accord. Now, since it is an outcome, so the attainment has to be again come into picture. To do so, analysis of the curriculum for Tier 2 institute is a must. There must be evidence that multiple meetings. After that, even course specialization committee meeting you have done. Like the people who are, let's say, with controlled specialization, they take care of only the control part of the curriculum. The people who are good at, let's say, drives, they only discuss the drive part of the thing. So that very meticulously you have analyzed every micro details of the gaps have been noted down and those gaps have been communicated to university, reminder letters have been sent to the universities, those are part of your file as evidence. If there is a board of studies member who is represented, is also part of the university, then he is carrying and he is telling you that this matter was discussed, and if it is not minuted, at least his statement can be recorded that in this particular meeting, that, because you don't know when NBA will come. So you keep in your record department meeting that such and such person, let's say Vishwajit, discuss this matter in the Senate. It was agreed upon to look into this, but so far it has not come. However, the departmental information has been communicated to the university highest body. So that should be recorded in that file, so that that becomes evidence that you have taken sufficient action, efforts to analyze and communicate the gaps to them. So this is a must. Then design beyond curriculum to bridge the gaps. That is your PSO. And the type of activities which you have to measure the attainment of COs. That is, tomorrow we'll be discussing, we'll just avoid this. Plan meticulously and implement with evidence. This already I have explained. Next stage is that, for example, I'll bring one. You always talk about the compliance engineering problem. It is part of the POs. When you talk about the compliance engineering problem, my student must be in a position to solve the compliance engineering problem. If I say so, they cannot be weak in application of science and mathematics or engineering fundamentals. So it is part. So my PO1 is fundamental knowledge in science, mathematics, fundamental engineering and application of engineering. So PO1 is satisfied. If I go to the second, to solve the problem, I have to identify and formulate. I have to apply the formula and formulate that problem also. So PO2 is satisfied. But if it is a complex engineering problem, design also will come. PO3. And if it is master level or PG level complex engineering problem, investigation, without investigation and research you cannot do. So that is the way if you see. So from where this word has come? From your question. Or in your CO when you are defined that my student will be able to solve complex engineering problem. One of the CO statements suppose is like this. The CO says that my student, the graduate will be able to solve complex engineering problem. So automatically that particular CO is having a mapping with almost all 4 POs. So if I have a subject where after teaching I am telling they will be able to solve the complex engineering problem. So my POs are satisfied, 4 POs are satisfied, it will drive the PEOs, program educational objective, that means the bottom to top model is in line. So therefore the complex engineering problem, this terminology if you see, it is driving. Now how to check the attainment? I'll ask for the question paper. Suppose in unit 3 you have written the unit 3 will make the student able to solve complex engineering problem. Then I'll ask for your internal question paper, I'll ask for your university question paper. Try to find out is there any question related to complex engineering problem or not. If it is not, then this particular claim of CO is not evaluated. There is no process that I can give mark for that because you have never raised a question on that way. How did you test that your student is capable of testing this complex engineering problem? So therefore, the question paper is the source of cross-checking of your CO statement. CO statement mapping with the PO is through a matrix, and POs once it is highly achieved, this is driving your POs. So that is the way you have to say, or project you have given. You have given a project, good project where a lot of this type of thought process are also coming. So it is not necessarily that only question paper, projects, then your industrial training, how industrial trainings have been evaluated by you, those records we see and cross-check that way. These are the cross-check approach. Afternoon we will discuss. Like
question paper mapping will not help in that sense that you are speaking. Because if any question papers come centrally from the university. So what you are teaching extra here may not be reflected in the question paper.
They have internal, na? So you go through the internal 1, internal 2. You have sessional, what do you say, midterm 1, midterm 2, what is the name you give? So you have 2 tests, you have assignment, you have quiz, you have laboratory test, you have surprise test in the classroom. So this is what I am telling, that as a teacher, the gap which the university is bound to give you because of the heterogeneity of the system in curriculum as well as in question paper, as a teacher you have to make up that in an innovative way so that your institute can claim, look, university gave me this, but I as a teacher I have already done that, and these are my CO attainment, these are my students are capable of designing this. So that is the things which is to be taken care, and these are to be recorded, evident, and in your departmental meetings it should be part of the file so that you can show that. Tell.
As per the backup building, so there are 4 influence and techniques.
Or?
Introducts.
Uh-huh.
One is the second one is the CA2 report. Third one is the internal assessment. It may be the quiz or other type of internal. And fourth one is conducted by the MACAO. So COPO mapping, for the COPO mapping, we are having only one option, that is CA3.
No? PPT presentation, who decides the PPT topic?
Yes, we, sir.
Who, you
We
decide?
provide the students the topics.
Quiz also, who decides?
We, the CA3.
So then,
Quiz.
you have all internal things
Yes.
is a controller of these gaps.
Yes,
Because this sufficient, university question I agree fully. Because the curriculum is such, they will go for this type of gaps.
Yes.
Question also will be final, question also will have gaps.
yes.
So if you are just trying to justify your attainment with final university question, you will be a failure. So you will not get mark, I know that.
Okay, okay, sir.
But these internal stages, McHugh has told that you take one assignment, one quiz, one practical, this, that, they have just given this name. What you will ask within that, they have not told.
Okay.
So raise your standard, raise your benchmark, raise your assignment. So this is what we see, assignment of, what is the quality of assignment? Our experts, they come from NIT, IITs, all big, a lot of expertise they are having. So they see the assignment, or this is a substandard assignment. Then sometimes the teacher, they give assignment, they don't evaluate. You are not returning it back to the student. There should be a time limit that within this time, this assignment should go back to them.
Yes, sir.
So that a remedial action can be taken at their end. So those things have to be there. So all internal setup which you have, even though they have told not more than 2 assignment you cannot give, make this assignment in such a way that it takes care of these gaps.
Okay, sir.
That is the methodology which you have to follow.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, MACAO asks us sometimes to design the papers for final examination.
Sit down.
But that's
Sit down and talk.
sometimes it may come as the same paper, or it may, some part of that question may become
Because moderate.
moderated, sir. So the question paper which we have designed, which I have kept in mind, the CA1, PC, PO1, all of this, can we put them as a reference to the NBA team? That we have designed the paper?
Very much, because you can, once the question is already conducted and the examination is conducted, it's not a secrecy. It is already open. So you can claim, look, McHugh had asked me a question, I had sent this question, out of this 5 questions which I sent to them, 2 questions have come and I had mapped with my CO to judge. So it is not only my student, other students have been also benefited out of that. That claim you can keep in your file.
And MACAO has already designed it, like, we need to put the
CO, nowadays all universities are demanding that, it is demanding that, so. I have given one example. See the question left hand side. It is my area, so I will fix my way the question. Design an antenna to radiate in 90 degree for mobile phone with low SAR and with AI support. Take a decision on clearance for the company. I'll explain you what. When an antenna engineer is asked by a mobile company to design a mobile, So they are given restriction कि मेरा PCB में इतना जगह है. Within this space, you have to design an antenna. The antenna will have this feature. It will radiate with this gain, it will radiate in this direction with this polarization. So all sort of boundary condition will put in your this requirement. Once it is done, then laws are specific absorption rate which discuss about how much electromagnetic signals gets absorbed in your body. When you buy a mobile phone, you might be checking that SAR value. If it is a low SAR value, then it is good for you. So if the SAR like 1.6 watt per kg is the standard NC for head model. If a mobile phone has to be operated in your ear region, the SAR maximum peak SAR value should not be more than 1.6 watt per kg. If I take 1 kg tissues, then our peak signal should not exceed more than 1.6 watt. So now it is already defined. If the antenna is giving more than that, then it will not pass the clearance. So therefore the antenna has to be designed to fit into this condition also. So therefore the low SAR value also is coming. Then use a machine learning approach to take a decision that this particular antenna is passing the so many just parameters which have been fixed by the regulatory authority for a clearance certificate. In fact, the first Qualcomm phone, this I was that time in US, I had tested that. I'll sometimes discuss the incident, but I'll just avoid that. This type of clearance certificates are given. So now to design an antenna, engineering knowledge is required or not? So PO1 is met. See the situation which I am giving. Is it a problem of analysis? Obviously, because a complex problem, you are designing an antenna for a mobile application, not that arbitrarily anything you are doing. So for a mobile handset, which is, let's say, Motorola has given to you, or Qualcomm has given to you, or Nokia has given to you, and you are trying to do, or this Apple has given a job to you to do this, so it's a complex analysis problem. It involves design. Obviously, this is a design issue. So PO3 is also met. Mark how the POs are linked, because as a teacher, you should visualize particularly in this question what the student will do. Without engineering, without calculus, without derivatives, without mathematics knowledge, this fellow cannot solve it. My PO is, one is attended. This is an analytic problem. He has to analyze, because only this space is this much, boundary condition, what geometry, what material he has to take, he has to analyze. So it is also a problem of analysis. It is a design problem. 3 is met. He has to conduct an investigation, because maybe there will be some other antenna which is fitting into that. So PO4 is also met. Is he using a modern tool? AI is there. So PO5 is also met. PO6, is the answer correct? I have written no, but I have told you SAR is related to absorption of electromagnetic signal. I just yes बोलने से फिर question होगा, why you are making yes? Justify. The language, mark the language. The language is the engineer and society. Does it require professional engineering practices to assess societal health and safety issues?
That's why the society gets that set when you decide what parents
Good. This is good. Intentionally I had put this no, because I was thinking that you will get confused. The person is just designing and a low SAR antenna is designing, but ultimately there is a word clearance, so that mobile company will release that mobile phone to the society. It has a total societal health hazard if he is not taking care of this. So he must really look into this for this assessment of the societal value. So therefore PO6 also is yes here, it is not no. But if it in isolation it is used, not a mass company like put a tower here, it will come as no. The next, environmental and sustainability. Does it link to that? There is no direct link. There is no direct link. Honestly, environment and sustainability this question doesn't have a direct link. Because you have to dissect the question, which are the component, like he told, clearance is linking to the society. So therefore there is an indirect link to the society, therefore it is yes. Whereas there is no direct link on sustainability, so it is not. पैसा लेके क्लियरेंस दे देगा. So therefore professional ethics has to be there. So it also shows PO8 is valid. 9 to 12 all these POs are not mapping in one way, because there was no space for this slide, so I didn't discuss. So now if you see, you can also put a question to understand how POs are linked to the questions. Ultimately, question will link to CO, CO to PO. So I have directly linked to the question to the POs. This is the way you can raise a question for yourself and create your POs, check your POs are mapping or not. 2-3 exercise, if you do that, you will be very clear about it. Even all 12 POs you will remember. But if you are just reading like a literature of 12 PO hai, aise kaise ho gaya, no. Analytically dissect which one is fitting on what. Argue yourself कि नहीं ये नहीं होना चाहिए, ये yes होना चाहिए, no होना चाहिए, तब जाके आएगा. So like that certain question which you have to pick up. I'll show you that, so you people don't remember. I'll go to this 9. 9 is individual and teamwork. 9 PO is individual teamwork. Function, I am coming to that. Function effectively as an individual and as a member of leader in teams and in multidisciplinary setting. Nowhere this question is related to that. Communication is communicate effectively with the engineering community. It is not that communication antenna communication. It is that now I am communicating with you. This communication they talk about, the communication skill. So this is also not mapping. Project management finance, the question doesn't take care of that. So therefore not lifelong learning also, the question doesn't take care of that. So therefore 9 to 12 are not mapping. Now PO assessment tools. The top line is direct tools. The bottom line shows all indirect tools. You can add more. Whatever was possible, I put it here. Mid-semester and semester examination, tutorials, home assignment, laboratory test, project work, viva, quiz, PPT presentation, seminar. Whereas indirect, your employer's feedback, alumni feedback, students exit survey, result of national level test, your publications, if out of the work, out of a project work, he is getting a say publication means there is really he has some motives for that. Then patent, awards. But for these type of things, publication, patent, awards, you have to create rubrics. That Scopus is very good, ACI is excellent, or Subeh Sam journal is no good. There are journal, na Subeh Sams. I name them Subeh Sam. Morning में भेजो, शाम को आएगा, your paper is accepted, give 5,000 rupees. Next day you get the acceptance. So if you come with this Subeh Sam journal to people like us, आपका होने वाला नौकरी भी खतरा में है. So never do that, because you are encouraging unethical group, and we don't want this type of people to be part of the education system. So those type of things. So how to evaluate them? You have to create rubrics for that. So therefore there is a rubrics Then professional society and position. Suppose your student becomes the local chapter recognized person, must be given some what is IEEE local chapter, or he is holding a IEEE secretary positions. So similarly, your faculty is also having certain positions. So those so many things you have to think what are they, and you must have evidence for that. Now this is to give you an idea about PSOs. So this is that extra. Now I have put what is the intention. Let us think about a mechanical graduate. I'm just bringing to a clarity how to create your PSOs. Let's think about a mechanical graduate of your institute, and the institute wants them to be efficient workforce in smart industry having fully industry 4.0 compliance. That means the industry where your graduates are to be accepted more are industry 4.0 or beyond compliance industry. They are all automation industries with AI, cloud, ML applied to that. Now, a student of mechanical engineering, when he wants to work in these automation industries, he has to work in a cloud environment. He has to interface himself to a cloud environment. He must know some AI tools to operate it, which is not a part of regular curriculum of the mechanical engineering. Madam Kai, you agree with me? So you don't teach Python code to them. You don't teach AI expert system to them. So now you want your engineer to be part of that big industry of Vedant or maybe big Amani companies industries. Well, already the industries are industry 4.0. So now how to take care of this? Therefore, in a normal curriculum of mechanical engineering, you will not find that. But it is a gap, because your POs which you are keeping in your mind, that these engineers will be placed there. So therefore, you have to take care of the gaps in curriculum, which your 12 POs are unable to attend through your PSOs. And that is what is the PSOs here. Language you have to change, just I have given you the hints. Knowledge in machine learning is a requirement. Knowledge in skill in Python coding is also a requirement. Working in cloud environment is also a requirement. Autonomous system must have an interface capability, otherwise he cannot be an engineer who can interface the different system there. I will tell you, sometimes all you mechanical engineer, I have a professor Rupinder Singh in NITR Chandigarh. When I was director, he was hired. This fellow is a Stanford listed faculty. If you see in material, his name is there always. Almost all now 300 plus SCI publications. Not very aged also, 45, 46 years of age. This fellow designed 3D printed antennas. He's so aggressive researcher, he'll talk to any electronics engineer, acha ye to main kar sakta hu. Now he has first designed 3D printed antennas. Then now he is talking about 4D printing, where because of the heat, when you change the dielectric properties, obviously the antenna parameters is material dependent, it will go on changing. So he is now, I think that paper might have come, mechanical thesis, 4D printing antennas. So there is no limit or boundary to any type of such situation now. You can see the website, his profile, and as teachers, sometimes you can request him, I'll ask him to deliver a talk for you. People is my colleague. So maybe you can think in that direction. Then you'll see that recently one of the projects which he was taking, that when the horses, they go in this horse race, sometimes because of their pain in the leg, they lift their leg. And once they lift for a fraction of second, then they lose the race, because any fraction of second is very important in those type of race. So many times the jockeys are veterinary doctors. They know when they get a hints of this thing, they tilt their weight to other side So that immediately the horse kept the leg on the ground and they compete in that. When this matter was discussed with our people, they wanted to create a shock observer pad, some mechanical, मुझे इतना तो पता नहीं, but I was director at that time, he was discussing this problem with me. Then they will take a review of those horses with a wireless sensor before sending them to the race. So that from the wireless sensor, they will get the database, what is the frequency in which this horse is lifting the leg. So after how many galloping steps, this horse is feeling pain. So accordingly, even though the cushion is given to him, but will it work or up to take special care after this number of frequency stage, the jockey will tilt himself so that it will never lift the leg. He was working in that particular problem. He is supplying the dog teeth to our narcotic dogs of Punjab police. We have metal printer, so his teeth cap is making it. So now to do this type of activities, your curriculum is not sufficient enough. His PhD student, MTech student, they do this work. So your curriculum is not enough. Your curriculum needs to have an additional factor, that is what is PSO. So this is a requirement which now if you have understood this PSO, then you will be in a position to write. This is a suggestive one, but not necessarily go with 100% correct. Whatever I was thinking, I just put in front of you. More or less program core, you'll see that it satisfied up to PO3 very nicely. Sometimes PO4, PO5 also, and 1 to PSOs also it will satisfy. So core, when we are talking, slight tilting of the core also take care of up to PSO. Program electives, they will more aligned towards the PSOs and also some POs. Open electives more prominent towards the higher order PSOs. Audit course is basically again to align to the core. So therefore the core which are more towards using the modern tools is that this will come, or application related thing will come. Major project, many things can come. Minor project, lab also is having some PSO component. So therefore, the lab is the best place where you can bring certain PSO, which is not possible in your normal curriculum. So that is the mapping of the course of PSOs with POs. You can think in this direction. So correlations, basically what you have to establish a correlation between PSO and PSOs of the courses run by you. Next, this is important. Tomorrow we'll discuss CO. So I'm not touching CO. Just to explain you PO, I have to take support of CO. So I have brought in COs here. 11:15 actually another professor will come. So I have to hurry up. So this is a course, let's say electromagnetic theory. I name arbitrarily in fact, but language I put for electromagnetic theory. This is a course which is electromagnetic theory. The course code is 301, EC 301. It has 5 COs defined. The total subject of electromagnetic theory, let's say the total electromagnetic theory has 8 units. Generally in syllabus you have 6 to 8 units. So let's say it has 8 units, and these 8 units I have divided into 5 COs, and the first CO says that compute this by this CO1. I tell that if I teach this subject, or if this subject is taught to my student, the student will be in a position to able to compute this spatial variation in coordinate system by using the various coordinate system parameters. Like we teach them cylindrical coordinate, rectangular Cartesian coordinate, and spherical coordinate, like that. So since I am teaching them the subject in that particular units, so I am confident that once they are taught this, my student will be in a position to solve any coordinate based issues. Okay, am I clear? Because Cartesian coordinate, spherical coordinate, cylindrical coordinate, if I have explained them very nicely, these 3 coordinates, then any coordinate related in spatial variation explanation or problem if you put to them, they will be in a position to compute that. So therefore my CO is linking with my subject which I am teaching them. Next, calculate the electric magnetic force and field intensity for charge distribution. Because in electromagnetic theory we teach those things, flux density, Paul divergence equations, how to use Maxwell equation to So my CO2 says that my student will be able to calculate the electric magnetic force and field intensity for charge distribution using the whatever mathematical or whatever concept or knowledge I am giving in this particular subject. So don't get confused with this 7-8 units. Your 2-3 units may be clubbed to one CO. Okay. So there are 8 units of syllabus. Electromagnetic theory is having 8 units. Those 8 units I have divided into the 5 COs. Apply the knowledge of electromagnetic to design waveguides. So they will have ample inputs from this subject. They will be taught Maxwell equation, they will be taught boundary condition, they will be taught about the different type of waveguides approach. So they will be in a position to apply this knowledge to design a good waveguide. Relate the volume charge density and electric flux density in a given boundary value problem. So since electromagnetic theory deals with a lot of boundary conditions issues, we teach them how to solve boundary values problem. So volume charge density calculation or electric flux density calculation using the knowledge of boundary value is also possible. Select the suitable dielectric and magnetic materials for specific application with the knowledge of properties. Because obviously the dielectric magnetic properties are also told to them, how their behaviors are there, how the electric flux density passes through them are well told to them. So therefore my 5th PO also say that the student will be able to select the suitable materials, whether it is a dielectric material or magnetic material for the electrical applications. So these are the expected course outcome of the electromagnetic theory out of the 8 units which your Macau has given to you. I am giving one example. One university has given you 8 units. Out of these 8 units, you say that if I teach these 8 units, my student will have this type of competency, or the course outcome will lead to capability of those students to solve this. Compute, select, mark the word. Understand is not. Understand doesn't give something. So therefore, compute, calculate, apply, relate, select, here all these things means where you can physically see that they are performing the work. Understand doesn't perform the work. So therefore, CO statement should not have word like understand. Memorize. ये सब नहीं होता CO statement. CO statement should lead to what they are performing, activities being performed by them. Okay. So now these are the COs I have defined. Now, you remember, for each, the code is not changing. It is 301, 301, 301. So 301, first CO, second CO, third CO, fifth CO. Now, these COs I am trying to map with the POs. So, what is the first POs? Do you remember? Application of engineering knowledge. CO1, compute the special variation is that. Don't you think application of engineering knowledge is required or not? Math, physics का बिना तो यहाँ होगा ही नहीं. So therefore, in my PO1, I have put 2, not 3. Because there is no engineering application in this. Fundamental of engineering is there. So it is in terms of the situation, or if you are justifying yourself, you can put 3 also, but I have put 2 arbitrarily. I have not thought in very, but I have to justify this, why I have taken, because this is what the justification file which you have to create for all metrics. Otherwise, these are the question, why 2, why not 1, why 3? So you must have answer there. Look, like I told you, when I saw, I was expecting 3 I have written, but when I saw 2, I immediately tried to justify that engineering application is not there. Therefore, I have deducted 1. But the expert, if he is in a position to convince you, no, here it is an engineering application, this is what, then he will make you to write 3 there, then you are in trouble. You will tell that you have not understood well. But you have to justify with certain points, then you will agree to this, it is 2. So like that I have put just to show you that the CO1 will have not only with PO it will match with multiple POs, like I showed you in one design equation of antenna. That antenna had 6-7 POs mapped. That so similar way you have to logically see how they are coupled. 3 is strong, 2 is moderate, 1 is low. High, moderate, low. So I have created that. Once you do, for each CO, your different POs will be mapped. Some cases it will not map at all. You see, lifelong learning is not mapping. Only one point it is mapping. Then how the average attainment is calculated, you see that. What it is done? Add and the number of units. So there are 5 COs. I added, it becomes 11. 11 by 5, 2.2. Anything 0.5 and above is rounded to the next. Because it is 0.2, it is 2. Similarly, it is 1, 1.4 becomes 1, 2 becomes 2, like that you will see. And wherever it is point fraction is less than the PO 11 doesn't match. This is not very difficult. Only thing is that conceptually you have to see how the average attainment is calculated. Then comes the next step. The average value of PO matrix is the point where you are getting it now. What is this average value? 2, 1, 1, 2. So average value is now for PO1, what is the average value? 2.
No correlation between the two processes. By calculating the average, if there is no correlation,
That is no
we are not supposed to take that value for the average calculation.
When this-
For people, only we have to consider 1, 2, 3 and average number of 3 plus 5 plus 6 divided by 3, not 5.
All 5 POs you are considering now. What you are asking in the next stage. Don't go to that next stage. Let me explain this. I have kept 5 COs. All COs are not mapped to all POs. If it is mapped all well, then you are 100% coupled. But now when I am putting this table, somewhere my CO1 is not meeting every point. So therefore, if you see here, my PO1 is met by all the COs, whereas PO10 is not met by everybody. So that means the CO which I have defined, somewhere having a gaps with the PO10 or PO11.
In the curriculum, there are various number of subjects. For every subject, it's not required to map to all the POs.
You don't jump the, I'll come to that. We are in first test. I am in one subject only. I am not going to the second subject, third subject. So my first subject, I see that my first subject is electromagnetic theory. Here when I am trying to map with the POs, all 12 POs are not taken care by electromagnetic theory. Is that correct? So if all my subjects, let's say 10 subjects in a semester I am teaching them, and all the subjects are this type of behavior, that means in no way my student will get PO12, PO11, PO10, they will be always with a gap of 11, 12, 10 POs. So therefore, when your subject is not taking care of this thing, somewhere the second subject should take care of this or third subject should take care. So overall, when they go out of your semester, none of the PO is untouched. All POs are touched. That is the logic. Now how to calculate, I will come to that. Fundamentally, when we calculate this for a particular subject, what you are telling is the overall table, which will come later stage. Now, when you are calculating for a particular subject, it is CO attainment of electromagnetic theory. That will be mapped because your 12 PO will be mapped with the 10 subject. Electromagnetic theory, let's say transmission line or waveguide, all the, not unit, subjects, digital electronics. So for particular CO when we are calculating now, this particular CO is having an average value like this. Then the next step is PO attainment calculation.
Sir, in the previous slide, sir, I have one confusion that how we are deciding that these numbers means 1, 2 and 3? I could not understand, sir.
That is logically you have to decide.
I mean, it is the weight actually.
It is the weight.
Okay.
It is the weight when
sir.
you have a PO1 engineering knowledge. When you are put this CO, just compare with CO, forget about other CO. Compute the special variation in coordinate system by using various coordinate systems. Compute the special coordinates by using various coordinate system. Both times system is computing. Now when I am bringing that, this is my CO, that my student will be able to do so. To do it, my student must know math, my student must know physics, my student must know the fundamental of engineering, but whether the application of engineering is here required or not. Whether application of engineering is required here or not.
No, sir, I think.
It is not required.
Not required.
But PO1 says science, math, fundamental of engineering and application of engineering.
Yes.
So application of engineering is not there. So logically somewhere the coupling is missing that. So therefore my weight here is slightly less. If
Yes.
application of engineering will come here, then it is full couple. What should be full 100%? So it is 3 there. So
Okay,
that's the way it is. So that is the logic. If you state it properly, then this matrix which you are creating, correlation matrix which you are creating, is justified. Here is the point where the experts will work with you. They will tell this correlation matrix which you have created, the coefficient which you have taken or the weight which you have taken is not correct. You see, this point also should be given some weighted.
Yes.
You have not weighted that. Therefore, putting 1 is wrong. You give weight to this, so it should have been 2. Why did you give you 1?
Okay, sir.
So, if 4, 5 step they prove you wrong, that means your correlation matrix is wrong. Your PO attainment calculation is wrong because your PO attainment comes from this correlation matrix.
Yes.
This is what is the situation here.
And sir, one more question, that what is the scale? I mean, it is 1 to 3. It may
It
be,
is a,
I mean, 0 to
actually
3.
it is a 3-level scale we have taken. You can go for the higher. So
So-
the weighted value will be changed in that case.
Okay, okay.
If you see this, it is the weighted average which you are taking, na? So if you are taking a 5-point scale, your outstanding will be 5, 4. So not to complex it, to a generally standardly it is taken 3, but I have seen 5 people have taken 5.
Okay, sir.
Micro details, if you want to go for this, then like if your CO statement is having multiple components, so then you need more gradation for that.
Gradation,
Then,
yes.
then your range has to be more.
Okay.
If it is not, then your range will be less. So depending on how you are formulating your CO statement, the range will go on. So generally 3 to 5 scale are used. 3 is your gaps are more.
Yes.
5 is gaps are better.
Yes, yes.
So maybe analysis will be better. So that is the way you can see that. That's not an issue.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So what we do here, the average PO for each component where you are seeing in the rounded values, then divided by the level. This is a 3-level scale. So divided by level into the course attainment. So the course attainment will be told to you tomorrow. How many students appear in the exam? Who got 70? What is your cutoff benchmark which you have kept? How many are above this? How many are in that zone? How many are below this? Like that you will also again decide in this, and from there the matrix will come and the attainment will be decided. Now today we will not be discussing that. Tomorrow we will be discussing, and another my colleague also will come. He will emphasize more on that, because this is what we want you to understand. Now I have taken arbitrarily, I took somebody's slide because I could not prepare this slide today, so I just picked up one slide from somebody. It is here, let me tell you, I think I prepared one slide. No, I could not. Okay. So now, here you see this CO1, civil people are here. What he was raising the question, the answers are here. You see different subjects are there. But don't go to other subject. I want to say only one subject. Imagine that your environmental engineering is electromagnetic theory, because we are discussing only electromagnetic theory so far. So the environmental engineering is electromagnetic theory where the CO1 attainment is 85.96%. So the CO1 is having a 85.96%. If you go to this formula, your PO is 2 divided by 3 into this 85%, 85.96, this will come around this value. I think I have kept a slide which is easier for you. Yeah, we can think in this way. Environmental engineering is 81. Okay. Now, if I want to see the attainment of this PO1, 2 was PO1's average value divided by the level 3 into 81% attainment of the CO, that will be PO1 attainment for this particular CO. So that's the way the table has to be created. So for all subject you have to create this table. So finally the all subject will be listed like this. Environmental, geotechnical, उस semester में जितना भी subject है, this will be listed like this. From this you have to calculate the final PO attainment. That each subject how much contribution they are doing to PO1. Environmental will contribute something, structural will come something like that. Finally, at the end, you have to calculate the PO1 attainment, all the subject of that semester. So that is the way, if you see this formula which was told to you, this formula gives the specific CO's attainment corresponding PO attainment for that. So arbitrarily you take 81, multiply with this 2 by 3, that will give you the PO attainment for that particular POs. Generally the assessment will further discuss it. It is not over today. This is the first stage. His questions are to be discussed. For POs, his questions are to be discussed. But for that, first you have to go through the CO process. Otherwise, it will be difficult for me to discuss this table, big table which I was showing. So tomorrow I will take up this. Once Balvinder covers that, I will take up again this thing. Because this is what is the problematic situation where your experts, they will make you confused and you are in trouble. So you have to have a better clarity to explain them. So for the moment, I will not emphasize more on today. Tomorrow, once you understand this CO thing, it will be easier for me to explain you again PO. Here, generally the standard approach is that people, they go for the 80% for direct, 20% for the indirect assessment. But you can also give more wattage. But you must have a solid justification of assessment. Means what? Collection of data. If your data is noise free, you are having a straightforward data which you are in a position to collect, and you are putting a logic, then making 20 to 25 is also acceptable. Otherwise, this is a standard practice, because we have confusion of data like exit survey, alumni survey, employee survey. Everybody doesn't give that. Your database is scanty. It is not very large database. So in a small sample data, here there is a chance of giving less error. Plus, direct one is a direct assessment. Evaluation is easy. Indirect one, you have to create the rubrics. Your rubrics must be satisfying the condition of the logic. Then only you can satisfy the export. So therefore, less mark is kept in indirect assessment, more is kept in the direct assessment. कमल, व्हाट्सएप आ गया क्या?
नहीं सर, he just called, he said कि अभी अगर सर उन्होंने कहा कि अगर ब्रेक होगी तो then he'll come after the break sir.
कमल?
Yes sir, yes sir.
कमल?
Sir, am I audible? Am I audible to all the participants?
Bro,
Hello.
Sundar ji का birthday है.
If any participant could respond.
Yes, you are audible. Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Hello? Sir, actually your speaker is not working. Hello? Sir, आप
कमल मेरा वॉइस नहीं सुन रहा है? वो कमल का आवाज क्यों नहीं सुन रहा भाई हम लोगों को?
सर हमको आपका और कमल सर का दोनों का आवाज आ रहा है।
हाँ जी सर, उनको नहीं जा रहा, इसलिए मैं बोल रहा था।
कमल कैन यू स्पीक नाउ?
हेलो सर, एम आई ऑडिबल?
ओ मेरा आवाज उसको सुनाई दे रहा है, उसका आवाज मुझे नहीं सुनाई दे रहा है। व्हाट्सएप आ गया क्या? अभी ट्रिब्यूट दे रहे हैं क्योंकि ठीक है 15 मिनट अभी मैं दे रहा हूं उनको टी ब्रेक। 11:30 में आने के लिए बोलो, क्योंकि वो अगर पहले छोड़ रहे हैं तो मैं थोड़ा पीओस फिर फर्दर डिस्कस करूंगा, क्योंकि कंफ्यूजन में है अभी स्टेज।
हेलो हेलो
So we break for the tea now. After 15 minutes, 11:30, we'll be back. By the time the other expert will take care of this thing. If he is leaving before 1 o'clock, then I'll take care of the PO's whatever doubt he raised. I'll try to explain that again.
ভয়েসটা এখানে আসছে না, বুঝতে প্রবলেমটা। ভয়েসটা আরে না ওইদিকে আসছে কিন্তু ভয়েসটা ওই যে কথা বলছে না সেটা আসছে না। আমি কথা বললে এখানে শোনাচ্ছে না। আমি বলছি তুমি শোনো। হ্যাঁ
আপনি বলুন ওখান থেকে একজন কে বললো যে তারপর শোনা গেল সাউন্ডটা।
पुष्पजीत सर, एम आई ऑडिबल नाउ? पुष्पजीत सर, एम आई ऑडिबल?
यस सर
सर एक्चुअली अब सेशन ऑनलाइन ही होगा, तो एक बार बस वो वॉइस का ही चेक करना था। थैंक यू।
माइक्रोफोन কোথায়? আরে মাইক্রোফোনটা নিয়ে আন। হ্যালো হ্যালো ওদিক থেকে কেউ আপনি বলুন না ওখান থেকে।
হ্যালো হ্যালো হ্যালো
বুঝে সমস্যা কি হয়েছে? কারেন্ট গেছিল কি? কারেন্ট যায়নি? হ্যাঁ গেছিল একবার, ওই জন্য। হয়ে গেছে স্যার, কিছু চেঞ্জেস দিয়েছে, সেই চেঞ্জেসটা করতে হবে আবার। না বসার তো টাইম পাইনি, ম্যাক্সিমাম 10 মিনিট বসার টাইম পেলে পরে হয়ে যাবে।
10 মিনিট না 2 মিনিট খালি কমাটা ক্লিক করতে হবে।
হ্যাঁ কমাটা ডিলিট করতে হবে।
শুন না না 5 মিনিট
কি হলো?
ঘন্টা 5 তো হাতে করাই মানে
হুম
Hello.
Hello.
All the local coordinators are requested to kindly please ask your faculty members to be seated. Our expert is already here, so we'll be starting with the session soon. So I request the local coordinators to kindly please ask the faculty members to be seated. A very good morning, Vatsar.
Very good morning to all of you. Kamal, participants are there?
No, sir, they are joining. They are joining. As soon as GKCIT Malda people join that.
For 5 minutes, no issues.
Yes, yes. Pushpajit sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Sir, are there applicants there?
आए हो गया सब? कहाँ चले गए सब? कमल डॉक्टर वॉट्स आ गया क्या?
हाँ जी सर, Vatsar is already here sir.
कहाँ पर है?
Vatsar, am I audible?
हाँ, good morning, good morning. Good morning, डॉक्टर साहब.
गुड मॉर्निंग. अच्छा घर से नहीं, अच्छा ऑफिस में आए हैं. ओके.
हाँ, ऑफिस में ही हूँ आज.
कहाँ गए आपका पार्टिसिपेंट सब? कहाँ गए भाई? क्विकली बुलाओ, नहीं तो दरवाजा बंद करूंगा, किसी को एंट्री अलाउ नहीं करूंगा. नहीं, आई एम सीरियस. चाय पी के भाग गए क्या? मैं चाय नहीं पी के भाग के आया हूँ इंट्रोड्यूस करने के लिए.
नहीं डॉक्टर साहब, कोई बात नहीं, डोंट वरी.
नहीं, हाउ टू मेंटेन टाइम. आप मेरा नेचर जानते हो, दरवाजा बंद कर दूंगा, बाहर में खड़ा रहेंगे ये लोग.
नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं.
नेचर कल भी बोला था इनको.
ऐसे ही होता है डॉक्टर साहब, कोई बात नहीं, वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड, कोई बात नहीं.
एसी रूम छोड़ के ह्यूमिडिटी में क्यों जा रहे हो भाई? इतना ह्यूमिडिटी बाहर में.
वहाँ ह्यूमिडिटी है, चंडीगढ़ तो 42, 43 चल रहा है.
नहीं, यहाँ आज ह्यूमिडिटी भी बहुत है.
यहाँ पे टेम्परेचर इज हाई, ह्यूमिडिटी नहीं है, गर्म.
ऑल अदर सेंटर्स आर देयर ना?
Yes sir, all other centers are there.
Okay, my friend, I have a colleague, Professor R.K. Watts, is going to deliver the next session. He is a person with a lot of expertise and experience because he is almost all there in this system for many years. Even in this system, he is senior to me.
Not at all, sir. Senior junior क्या होता है, sir?
It is a fact actually. So, and this is the area where he has this mastery, and I think he is one of the national experts who has depth knowledge in this particular subject which he is going to deliver. So you interact with him in the process. Like since yesterday we are doing a lot of interaction. So the interactive class will be better understood, and lot of this doubt questions can be raised, and it can be settled during this interaction. Therefore, I suggest to ask the attendance sheet to be put. So that is the way this session you should take. Today, though it is a holiday for us, he has come because we are very professionally known for our activities. So he has come from his home and is in the office. I was thinking he will try from his home, but you see, this is what is the nature. Chandigarh has this professionalism. Many of us, we old timer, we have maintained that culture, and that institute is worth visiting. If you go there, you'll see this culture is already there, and nobody will run away from their job. And though it is a holiday for us today because of the local holiday declaration, the professor, senior professor is also here to deliver his talk. So, Dr. Watts, thank you so much. The forum is for you now.
Thank you, Doctor Sir. I must compliment you for giving such a beautiful introduction. I don't know really whether I will stand on this interaction or not, how much percentage I am going to interact with them and how much they are going to get from me. It all depends on them. So, welcome you in this session. Friends, I am Dr. Rakesh Watts. I am going to talk to you in this session on SWOT analysis. I think you must have understood, known this word for the past. Have they settled down, Doctor?
Yes, Vatsar is saying yes.
Have they settled down or yet to settle down?
No, they are there. They are there. You go. Please go ahead. 1, 2 will come.
Okay. So friends, as I told you, I am going to talk on the issue of SWOT analysis for academic audit. In this program, you are mainly going to deal with academic audit, whether it is NBA or NAC, or the thing which is done is academic audit, means auditing your academics. That is called academic audit. Means evaluating what you are doing, how you are doing, how much it is on the right path, what are the lacunas. That is called academic audit, and this program is mainly focused on academic audit in an institution. Academic audit basically is of two types. One is internal, other is external. Internal, as you prepare the SAR, this is academic audit from your side, which is being dealt by with Dr. Patnaik, with you. SAR is being dealt by with you. I think he has already dealt with criteria 1 and 2 of NBA, and more or less on the similar pattern NAC also works. This is academic audit which you are to prepare for yourself for NBA or NET. So, as I told you, two types of academic audit. One is internal, other is external. Internal, you are already doing in terms of SAR. External, it will be in the form of the visit with the NBA team of experts will be coming to your institution, interacting with you, getting something from you. And at the last day, they will be letting you know some of your strengths, weaknesses, conformities, and all this. So, this is basically academic audit. But let me tell you, in this whole process, there is one important concept without which this academic audit can't happen. I may say can't happen, I may say. Because this gives you the background where we are and where we are to go. And they, based on this input, I'm sure that I shall be able to understand the importance of this issue which I'm going to talk in this session, and that topic is SWOT analysis. Friends, let me start my presentation with a very simple one-line statement. I will ask you to interpret that statement and let me know what exactly it is. I am expecting a lot of inputs from your side, because without your inputs, this session is not going to be of any use to neither to you nor to me, because I am not going to enjoy this session without your inputs. And this is a statement with which I am going to start. You can go through this statement, very important statement. I am going to ask you what are the key words in this statement. I am going to read this statement for you. If you know yourself and your enemy means competitor, you need not bother the results of 100 battles. Kamal, is it visible to everybody?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
What are the key words in this statement? Anybody who would like to? I am expecting that everyone should understand this statement, and some of you may comment on this statement and let me know what I am expecting from you. I am again reading it for you. If you know yourself and your enemy, you need not bother the results of 100 battles. What do we really mean by this statement? What are the key words in this statement? Anybody who would like to comment? And let me tell you, this statement was given by a Chinese general. His name was Sun Tzu in 500 BC, before Christ.